Okay, happy 3rd of July, bud. How are you doing?
Happy 3rd of July. I just feel like all the stars have aligned to make, pun intended with the stars, all the stars have aligned to make this like a really solid 4th of July weekend. The World Cup is doing so much for
So much.
like go USA. Everyone, because normally people feel that way during the Olympics, but the
Yeah,
Olympics never fall at the same time as 4th of July.
no,
This is like having the Olympics on the 4th of July. It's amazing.
which is insane. And I am a little bit in my World Cup era. I stayed up and watched the game with my dad and my dog, and we had a great time. I also this might just be a me thing, and if it is, please just tell me. Um, I've never heard of Bosnia Herzegovina before.
Well, it's funny because we were watching it and I have heard of it before, but I said something like, "Oh, like a small island nation or whatever." And my dad, who is like just legendary at geography, he looks at me and he goes, are you kidding? Like it's not an island nation. Like it's in Eastern Europe." And I was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
whoops."
would have
Yeah,
had
it's
no idea. You were learning so much geography about these little countries
mhm.
that are doing such a good job. Like I think Curacao is out now, but learned where Curacao was.
Yep.
Um
Cape Verde. I learned first of all that in English it's not Cape Verde, it's Cape Verde.
oh.
I learned all about them. They're playing Argentina today, I think.
Yeah, I'm learning so much about geography, so much about different cultures, so much I like the all the different cultural chants and things like that, like the Norway situation they have going on, with the rowing. I'm learning a lot. It's feeling Olympic like, but here's my question that I've been trying to ask my dad and he's really not been giving me an answer. So there's also soccer during the Olympics, correct?
Yeah. Mhm.
How do they finish that tournament in 2 weeks and this World Cup has been taking 2 months? Is it a different type of tournament?
It must be a different type of tournament. Well, this also is the first year, I think this is what my dad said, so someone can fact check us, that this is the first year that there have been 64 teams in the World
Oh,
Cup, and then it got like eliminated down to the round of 32. Normally, they start at 32 and then maybe right away eliminate to like the like 16. I'm
okay.
not really sure. But I also feel like I again, I don't know if this is the case, but because this is like the World Cup and obviously like all the soccer is prime time, they're only playing 3 games a day. Whereas I wonder during the Olympics,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how it works with like space and all of that, but like soccer isn't necessarily like a prime time sport in the Olympics, especially if it's like two random countries playing each other.
Yeah.
I'm sure that the tournament style is also different, but like I wonder if additionally they're playing a lot more games
That
in
maybe,
like I don't know.
yeah, same time. That makes sense. Yeah. And again, my dad is going to be so sick of me because I've asked him this question so many times. I do not understand why Great Britain represents Great Britain in the Olympics, but then come World Cup and other things, they all separate into England and Scotland and Wales and whatever. I think you need to pick. I think you
Oh,
need to
are
pick.
they Great Britain during the Olympics? I
Yes, they're
didn't
great.
know.
Yes.
I'm team like, and maybe this is just our Irish, heritage. I also am like English or Welsh, so I guess I have both sides, but it's like I'm for them being their own like little nation. Like I'm all for them being like England, Scotland, Wales separately. But I agree with you. It's weird that they're Great Britain during the Olympics and then separate for the World Cup.
It's so strange. Clearly, it's because soccer is big there, and they probably could actually field because they had the Scottish team and English team. I don't
I
know
think
if they
that's
had
why I
players,
think it's advantageous for them to unite for the
but
Olympics.
I guess I'm just confused. I guess we just don't need to be doing that.
But I also feel like I don't know if the requirements are different for the Olympics, but like the the requirements for what it takes to like play on a national team, I think it's like Morocco's starting lineup for the World Cup. Not a single one of those players was born in Morocco. Maybe it is. I guess the
What?
Olympics are the same way, where it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's kind of like, are you loosely affiliated with
yeah,
the country of origin? I don't know.
yeah. All good questions. All things that I'm learning. I think it's cool that it's in the United States. I mean, I would have loved to have gone to a game. So if like we have any sponsors out there that wants to send us, like we will go. Um and take content and film a podcast about the game. I would love to go. And I love a sporting event purely for like the experience, not necessarily the actual sports where you are the opposite of that.
Yes, but I will say, like, I like both. I like the sport aspect of it, but also part of the reason that I have grown to love sports so much is the ambiance of being at a live
Mm-hmm.
sports game. Like, I've said this in the podcast before that there are sports that I like to watch on TV and sports that I really can't watch on TV. There is not a sport that I don't like to see in person. Like, if
Mm.
you have never um like if I've never seen a sport ever, I'll watch it in person and I'll have a great time. So,
Olympic swim trials. Remember when we went to that?
so fun,
We had the
amazing.
time of our lives.
I am gonna say this is very timely that I'm getting distracted because I'm getting texts on my phone from my friends about the Taylor Travis wedding.
Oh, I mean, like we would need a whole separate podcast on that. I have a lot of thoughts. Do you care? Do you care if I share?
I want you to share your thoughts because I feel like I really don't have any.
Okay, and that's the thing is like I don't have really any thoughts either. I think people that are like, "Oh my gosh, the fact that she's doing it at Madison Square Garden, like that's insane." I don't think really anything is insane for her. Like I
I don't
think
think it's insane. My thing is, which I don't know if this is what everyone's take is, because everyone's like, oh my gosh, like she's doing it for like the attention, like she likes attention, she wants attention. And if she is, that's fine.
mhm.
I'm actually fine with that take. I just think it's against her brand. I feel like
I
her brand is not MSG, unless it's like with Travis now, it's her brand. I don't know, but
and there is no part of me that thinks like this is was her only like wedding ceremony. She for sure had something intimate with family, whether it was back in her hometown or in Kansas City or whatever. I think she had to have had a intimate gathering with her family. I think this is like this does fit her brand. Like she's been singing about wanting to get married and wanting to have a husband for the past 15,
no, no,
20
no. The
years.
wedding in general, for sure. Making it a big spectacle, for sure. Which again, I say that with no shame. I
No,
too would like a large spectacle. But my point is just the aesthetics of Madison Square Garden.
the aesthetics of Madison Square Garden, but like if you've seen those trucks have been there all week. Like that place will not look like Madison Square Garden, I
No,
don't
that's
think.
true. I think it's purely just which people have said this, and like I also get this that it's purely just for like the security.
For sure. Because I'm like, okay, there was all that rumors that it was going to be in Rhode Island at the Ocean House, like where Olivia Colpo got married. Like that's an outdoor venue. Who, no. Helicopters, everything. Like, I
Well, I
think,
guess this is my question, and maybe it's for the same reason, but why didn't she get married at the Holiday House?
well, is
That's
it,
like her Rhode Island house, isn't it?
yeah, but I guess like maybe she had a privacy. Like, it's not that big. Like, I don't think it would have fit like
Oh.
thousands of people. Um, because like also she's inviting everyone. Like, there's so many celebrities spotted in New York that usually wouldn't be there that I'm like, oh, you invited her? You invited her? Interesting. So I am curious to see if like this goes is in like a People magazine like photo spread. If this is in Vogue, if this like
Yeah.
how is she choosing to share said wedding? Because if you're having this big of a spectacle, then it will be shared. I think there was a thought. Some people were like, "Oh, she's not going to share her wedding. Like she's been like more private recently,
No,
whatever."
she will.
This she will be sharing. She will be sharing if it's this big of a spectacle, and I am just curious to see the method of her sharing, you know?
I think it makes sense to do like a Vogue or something. I don't think she would do it like release it on social media. I think it's
No.
would be like a lot more classy to do it via like a magazine feature.
Yeah. I agree. I do think it is quite interesting that it's July 3rd. Like I think that is an interesting choice. Like I never thought she was a big 4th of July gal. Maybe she is. And maybe like it had to be now because then Travis goes back to like training camp or whatever. Doesn't that start in August or July? I don't know when that
Yeah,
starts.
I guess if they want a honeymoon, he probably has to be back soon because they have like training. Usually, I will say, I don't know if it's the same for the NFL, but in college, well, I don't know that they ever got the 4th of July off. In college, the break was always like the middle of July, was like their 2 weeks that they got off. They got off like
Oh,
around like, or a week ish. They got like off for like around the 13th.
okay.
And then they would go back after and be fully in season. So
Interesting. Yeah, I am curious to see. I'm holding space. I'm watching out for social media. I will be chronically online. Um and I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting to see what happens. But I don't think I'm like it's definitely at Madison Square Garden. Like I think for a while it was like, is it gonna be there? Is it not gonna be there? Like it's there. Um
I think
and
something is gonna like there were either the reception is gonna be there or it's all gonna be there, but like I agree that it's not a decoy at this point.
no, like and it's not a decoy, and like also like what other event would be happening at Madison Square Garden? Like what else is going on there that no one else knows
Yeah.
about or whatever. So I think that's huge for the pop culture girlies, but I think again, it's one of those things there's been so much hype about and so much like chatter about, but then there's not a whole lot to talk about necessarily like after it happened. I don't think we're gonna know tonight what it all looked like. Like I think it's gonna be a
No, no,
while.
no. It's gonna be a while. I would agree with that.
Yeah. So, but that's huge in the pop culture world right now. Not, I feel like pop culture kind of dies down a little bit in the summer because like everyone's at the Hamptons or everyone's on
Mhm.
vacation, but she's really pulling for us, Taylor.
Which maybe also that's why she did it now because she knew that there was nothing else going on.
Yeah, maybe. I hope she does not use this as a some sort of like self promotion thing. Like I don't want it to be like here's
She's
my
dropping another
yeah,
album.
I don't want to do that. I don't want her to be like, here's my wedding
Uh,
pictures. Also, my 13th album is coming out on Monday. Like, I don't, I want this to be about like her and her wedding. And yeah,
I had that thought had never crossed my mind, but I want to put it right now here live on the podcast. Like, I think that's gonna happen.
I think it's going to happen. And
I
like,
think it's gonna happen.
that would be so cringy. Like, it's like, honestly, like, I'm giving her
Uh,
so much grace and so much space. Like, you want to get married at Madison Square Garden. Like, you do you, girl. Like, I don't care, but like, do not use this as self promotion.
no, let it be known that like I think we should just commit to the fact that that's what's gonna happen now because if it doesn't happen, then who cares? Like no one like will look we won't even look stupid because whatever. But if it comes true, we'll be geniuses.
I've seen like several TikToks about it, so like we didn't create it here first, but I'll give you credit. I'll give you credit.
But if it hasn't made it to the mainstream because I haven't like I see what's
It
mainstream and
it
I
hasn't
haven't
made it
seen
to
it yet.
Reels. It hasn't made it to
It
Reels.
hasn't made it to Reels, it hasn't made it off TikTok yet. Yeah, for the listeners that don't know, I deleted TikTok long ago and don't have it anymore. I am an aggressive watcher of Reels
You are an
these
aggressive
days.
Reelser. Um, I
Yeah.
also think like something I forget is that we were with each other in Disneyland at where were we? The Sheraton Inn, the four whatever. When TikTok was banned for like 12 hours. Do you remember that? It was like a rough 12 hours for me.
Yeah, were you about to say the Four Seasons? Girl, we weren't at a
Not the
Four
Four
Seasons.
Seasons, the 4 Points, 4 Points by Sheraton.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
where we
that's what
were?
it was. Yeah, I just wanted to make it clear to everyone that we're
Okay.
not staying at the Four Seasons.
We were not
Oh
at the
my
Four
gosh,
Seasons.
we were there when it was banned for 12 hours.
Yes,
I forgot
yes.
about that.
And I was like deeply ill. We actually were just talking about this trip because because we were talking about like one time where I ate gluten, which like for the listeners, like I eat a gluten-free diet. And I had eaten French fries that were what were they like
No, no,
beer?
no. I forgot to I have to tell backstory this. So Maddie is full-time gluten-free.
Yeah,
I decided in January of what 2025, I think.
yeah.
Yeah. I decided that for the month of January of 2025 that I too was going to be gluten free to just like see if it cured any health things. I actually did it legitimately for like 20 something days, but we're at this restaurant and we're ordering fries. And the people were like, we're out of, there was something weird with the gluten free meal option. And they told us, like, it was the bun. It was something with the bun where it was like, the bun was like made in a facility with gluten products. So it's not like certified gluten free. But like obviously I wasn't that serious about it. And Maddie eats like you can take the like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
gluten bun off a burger. You just don't like eat the bun. Anyways.
yeah.
So we were like, oh, that's fine. And then they were like, okay, with the fries, like we can give you sweet potato fries or French fries. But they're like, just so you know, the French fries are beer battered. So it's
Hmm.
like they have gluten in them. And so I was like, oh, I'll take the sweet potato fries, whatever. And Maddie was like, I'm just gonna like gamble with the like beer battered fries. And the people that worked there were so confused. I think they were worried that we were like being stupid and we were gonna sue them. And they were like, I want you to understand. You ordered a gluten-free meal. These fries have gluten in them. Are you 100% sure that you want them? And I was like, I guess we are. Sure.
Yep. And then so we were talking about like that and what like the times that I've had gluten and like whatever. And I was like, "Oh, I feel like I was kind of ill after that, but like also I think I was ill in general on that trip. Like I think I like had the flu." And then um we recalled that we also might have been ill because we walked like 30,000 steps like in the span of like I don't know, 8 hours which is through our
No,
dear friend Maggie P.
we didn't walk
Um
30,000 steps. We walked like 29,800 steps because I have a video of Meg in the hotel room at midnight
yeah.
pacing back and forth to get to an even 30,000,
And then she yelled at us that we weren't stretching
which was
and
valid because I was in so
so
much
valid.
pain.
And we get to see her bright shining face next week. And can't wait to I need to start like training. Like I need to like we're gonna go on so many walks.
So many walks, but I'm so ready. I also I told Maddie this before we started recording that today is Friday. We're recording this on Friday. Tuesday, I am leaving where I live for basically a month. I realized I'm like at first I thought it was gonna be 3 weeks. It's closer to a month. I leave the 6th, then I come back the 3rd. So I haven't left somewhere that I live for a month in a long time.
Since like Moogie Summer.
But even that felt like moving. Like I brought,
Yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, I'm very excited. I am a little overwhelmed. Basically, the approach I'm taking is that today and tomorrow are reserved for the 4th of July. I won't be doing anything but having fun. And then Sunday and Monday, like, no one speak to me. Like, I will
Well,
be frantically getting ready to leave.
and also we have already discussed like the only things we really cannot purchase elsewhere are our bridesmaids dress and our I mean the shoes we honestly could even purchase elsewhere, but like you just need to make sure you have the dress. Everything else like we can buy. Like obviously it would be nice to bring everything, yes, but like you just have to worry about the dress.
Yeah, I think the packing, like the two things that I'm really going to be focused on as far as the packing are, well, I mean, before I'm leaving, one, like getting ready to leave my house for a month. I don't know why that's stressing me out either because my brother lives here. Like he'll be here.
Mm-hmm.
The house will not be abandoned, but like just making sure because also when I come back and I keep forgetting this, like I'm starting school. So like my
Mm-hmm.
house will need to be immaculate
Mm-hmm.
when I leave so that I can come back and start work. The second thing is going to be like packing in a way that allows me to stay organized because I am going to like home back to where I was like born and raised first for a few days before I go out east to visit Maddie. And then from there, obviously, we're going to a couple different locations. So I feel like I just need to be very organized. I also was thinking that normally when I pack, I have just like my toiletries bag that like my makeup and all my face stuff, whatever goes in because usually it's in travel sizes.
Mm-hmm.
One, I'm going to be gone for so long. I'm going to need the full size of things. And also, I'm checking a bag, so it's fine.
Yeah.
So I think that I'm going to like have like a makeup bag with just the makeup, a jewelry bag with just the jewelry, a bag that just has like shampoo, conditioner, all of that to keep them organized because normally they all just like go in this one bag together.
I love that for you. I have been coming to the Cape for, I mean, every summer of my life, but leaving Omaha, coming to the Cape for a month, 6 weeks or whatever for the past 5 years. And I feel like this summer I really had my packing down to a science because I would always bring like so many cute outfits and all this stuff. And I literally just sit in my bathing suit in my pajamas. Like I don't really do a whole lot. And I just committed this year. I was like, you know what? I have a lot of cute outfits. Like I will not be wearing them. I am not bringing them. And it was very hard. And then I always bring all my makeup and I never wear any of it. And I was like, I'm not bringing it. Like if I actually need something, I'll go and buy it, whatever. And so I didn't bring any of that. And it was very freeing. I also packed in space bags this summer, um,
Oh,
which was nice. But then I also forgot, like, I packed in space bags, but no matter if it's smaller, like, it's still the same weight. Like, you still can only
mhm.
have 50 pounds. Like,
Yeah.
that was, which I didn't, my suitcase is not 50 pounds, don't worry. But my plan is to basically just like throw everything in my suitcase. We're going back to Omaha for a brief 24 hours at the end of July. And I'm basically gonna just pack like 3 different bags of like bachelorette stuff, Chicago stuff, wedding stuff. And then we're driving. So like we'll just like throw everything in my car and like hope for the best. That's my plan.
Yeah, I think it would be very different if I was just going to the Cape because I agree, like, you need swimsuits and
Yep.
cover-ups and like that's it.
Yep.
You don't need makeup, you're not doing your hair.
No.
But I am not going home
Yep.
before bachelorette wedding Chicago week. So,
Where we do need a lot of items.
yes. So,
And
we'll
thank God
see.
for our dear friend Maggie P, who mailed us in the physical mail a packing list for her bachelorette party. Love her so much.
It's the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my whole life. It gives like, which I know a lot of like brides and maids of honor will do this where it's like an itinerary, but not only did we get an itinerary, we get a day by day packing list.
Which is incredible. And I still, one of her themes is sparkle, glitter, what is it? Bling.
Oh
And
yeah, so that's the other
I
thing.
I like to think I'm like a sparkly type of gal. Like I like sparkle. I don't own a lot of sparkle, so that's the one that I'm like struggling with a little bit that I might need to buy something for. Um, I saw this beautiful dress at Lily Pulitzer this week, and I was like, oh my god, it was like bedazzled. It was so cute, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna try it on. And it was so cute. And I thought, this is a splurge. If it's like $200 or less, I will get it. Like it's a cute dress, but like I do really like it, and I would wear it and whatever. I was like, you know what, $200 or less, I'll get it. How much do you think said dress was?
430.
Oh my god, literally 425. So I did not get
I've
said
been around
dress.
the block. Maybe because we went to the Lily store the last time we were there, I feel like most things were about that price.
Yeah, so I did not get said dress, which was sad. And then I thought, like, honestly, I think I could make said dress. Like if I got sequins and I can sew, I could make it. So I might consider going back to the store and doing a little bit more of a recon there and seeing if I can make said dress. If not, I'll just buy a sparkly shirt somewhere.
Yeah, my sparkly shirt I ordered to my house. It is arriving July. It's supposed to be arriving Tuesday at 9 p.m. I will
Oh,
be gone by then. However, there are people coming down to visit me in my hometown this weekend, one of them
mm,
being my brother. So I'm just gonna have to text him multiple times a day to remind him to get
yeah,
this package.
yeah.
And if not,
Um,
it was a $10 shirt that I got off of Poshmark.
oh.
So it'll be okay.
Yeah, I think we'll be good. But I am so excited for our big journey, and all of our trips and things like that. I think we'll also be having some guest stars on our podcast, to have some little wellness check chats with, which I'm excited about. See some old friends and family and all that. So that's something to look forward to.
I'm excited. And Maddie and I were saying that I still don't regret when we chose to start the podcast, but
No.
we've kind of been in our summer slump in a good way. It's been good for
Yeah.
our respective mental health, but
Hmm.
we haven't been doing a whole lot. So I feel like the wellness checks aren't what they will be in, say, August and September. We're
Hmm.
gonna have a lot to check in on. So
Lot to
it'll
check in
be good
on.
to have some guest stars to kind of shake it up a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think, like the last time I saw you, was it in January? Was it in Austin? Was the last time I saw you?
My brain's like buffering.
Yeah.
Yes. What did I do for my spring break this year?
You had a lot of bridal
Thank
related
you. Yeah,
items.
yeah, yeah.
And my
Yes, it
spring
was
break, I was going to
January.
visit you, but the flights were insane at that time.
Yeah. No, it was January. That's crazy.
That is crazy. So 3 weeks, here we go.
This will be the longest time we've spent together since Moogie Summer.
And we're taking cars, we're taking buses, we're taking airplanes, we're taking like trains,
I'm literally
probably,
taking a bus and a plane and a car.
and probably a train in Chicago.
Yeah.
Wow. We'll have to get a boat in there somewhere.
I love a boat. I was yearning for a boat yesterday, but
Yeah,
that's a different story.
sensitive subject, but
Well, I think we should just get into the wellness check. I
I
think
think we
it's
should get
time.
into it too. Yeah.
You want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Are you going to ask me what my wellness check is?
I'm a little off this morning, y'all. Sorry. Maddie, what's your first wellness check? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I do want to take a wellness check, and I know my parents listen to this podcast. Thank you for being our supporters, are probably our only
Yeah,
supporters.
big shout out to you.
Big shout out to them. And they're gonna to be like really offended by this statement, but it's not to offend them. It's more of a conversation because I would like to hear other people's thoughts. And I so I would say this is like a physical or environmental wellness check. I am aware that we are blessed in this age with modern air conditioning. I am aware how much of it, like, and I think we have been conditioned, right? Like we have been conditioned to like expect air conditioning. And I understand that our parents grew up in a world that there was not air conditioning. Like how much of it do you think like we are conditioned, and how much do you think it is like, no, maybe the world is getting hotter? Like this might be a little bit of a global warming check-in too. Like I feel like it's just been so hot. How did people not live with air conditioning? And to that point, my parents love, and not even my parents, I want to take my mom out of the equation. It is my dad. Loves to mess with our air conditioning and like turns it on, turns it off, like turns it only on one floor and whatever. And so it's been incredibly hot at my house. And my room is on the third floor, and it just has been like super muggy. So I've been sleeping in like on our first floor in our like basement area because it's like cooler. Because the air conditioning situation is just like not good. And is that like a older generation thing? Are we conditioned for air conditioning? Like I just need to rant about it, and I need to know your thoughts as well.
So I think it was in. This is like a really nerdy take on this, which is my brand. Um, but John Green has a book called The Anthropocene Reviewed where he like talks about all these different kinds, like different elements of just like being human. I don't really know how to describe it. It's a really good book, but he has a chapter on air conditioning. And he
Oh.
says, which this I agree with. He's like, we have become conditioned to use air conditioning to make it frigid,
Mm-hmm.
freezing cold in buildings during the summertime to the point where we were talking about this in places like Vegas, in places like Texas, where you come from the sweltering heat outside, it's 100 plus degrees, you go inside the store and you need a jacket because it's so freezing cold because the air conditioning is cranked. And his point was, we can live with it being a little hotter. The point of air conditioning is just that it's not unbearably hot. So instead of it being, because most of us like, well, our air conditioning at my house was set to 72 because not because of me, but I was freezing. So I recently turned it up to 74. When I lived by myself, it was set at 75. I even think you could go higher, but like we could live in 78 versus having to live in 95. We don't
Mm-hmm.
need the air conditioning to be on 70. Now, you told me though the temperature in your room, which I think is absurd.
Yeah, it was 88 degrees.
Yeah, you can't be living like that, especially when you sleep. Like my grandmother, I don't know if I talked about this before, keeps her house at 82 degrees year round, which is a whole nother conversation. But she turns it down at night because no one can sleep in the heat. Like it needs to be cooler to sleep in like comfortably. So, anyways, all that to say is that I think the modern age takes air conditioning to too insane of a level. But I do think I feel like I agree with you in that people either have the air conditioning on at 70 degrees or they don't turn it on at all. I feel like
Hmm.
we need to bring back like you can turn the air conditioning on to make it just a little bit cooler than it is outside. And that's
Yes.
okay. Moderation is okay.
Moderation is okay. And I feel like that's like was kind of, yeah, like what I was getting at is that I don't know, I'm thinking about like Disney World, where I've gone to Disney World in the summer in like August in Orlando, and it's sweltering, but then you go into like a store in Disney and the air conditioning is like 65. It's
Yes,
insane.
yes, it's
But then you
insane.
step back out and you're like even hotter because
Yes.
you just were in 62 degrees. And then like for their purposes, I think it's like a marketing thing because then you'll like buy ice cream and like water or whatever. At my house, like I don't really understand what the tactic is here. I get
Uh,
Disney World, I don't super know what's going on. So that's kind of been my check-in as I've been sleeping in a different room in my house, which is my brother's room, which is fine, but not the comfort of my own bedroom. So and every time I complain, my dad does say, "Well, you could just pay rent," which I will not be doing. So that's a little bit of my check-in is I do think we need as a society a check-in on air conditioning because it has gone out of control, I think, in both sides. So
I think we've lost the plot. And the thing is, like, no one is like this with heating. Like,
no.
everyone is normal about heating. I think maybe because as a society, we've had heat for a lot longer, but it's like in the winter, you walk into a building and it's not like you're sweating your brains out.
Hmm.
It's just like slightly warmer than the outside. It's comfortable.
Mm.
Um,
So
yeah.
yeah, not the most interesting wellness check, but like that's kind of what I have going
But
on.
very relevant, especially with heat waves in different part of like I feel like a large part of my Reels algorithm is like all about the heat wave in New York and other places.
Yeah, and then
So,
I like Europe is having a huge heat wave.
well, they don't have air conditioning in Europe.
Trust me, I'm aware.
I also in Eastern Washington where I went to college, at least in Spokane, like they did not have air conditioning. My room when I got back in August was 85 degrees, and my sweet, sweet roommate, it's actually her birthday today. Happy birthday, Rachel. But she was
Oh,
like, girl, I put a bowl of ice in front of a fan. Like, I don't know what else to do for you. I'm sorry. Because I also was on the second floor. So,
heat rises. I know that.
yeah. But I also remember in the winter, I lived my junior year of college, I lived in a 3-story house and I was in the basement with another girl, and there was a girl in the third story loft. And heating was always an issue because when the heat was turned on too high, the girls on the main floor, like right by the heating, and the girl in the loft were like, it's so hot. We don't need the heat this high. Meanwhile, my friend Emma and I in the basement were freezing. We were so cold.
Mm,
So you can't win sometimes. But that house also was really old. So it was not well insulated. Yeah.
a good college house.
Anyways,
Okay, what's your first wellness check?
my first wellness check again is spiritual, which I feel like I have been doing a lot, but I have an interesting update and an interesting perspective that I feel like will be good
Okay,
for the listeners. So,
okay.
I have discussed how I have been kind of in a spiritual slump and I've been trying to, shake it up, do different things. And I have never done it before, Father Mike's Bible in a Year podcast, which I know
Shout
was
out
a
Leah
huge thing
Schwartz. She
like
loves
5
that
years
one.
ago, and I'll explain my take on this. For those of you that don't know, Father, probably most of the people listening to this podcast now are familiar with this, but when we make it big, when the randos are listening to this podcast, going back in the archives, basically Father Mike Schmitz is like a celebrity priest, and he
Mm,
has this podcast that he recorded like several years ago that's daily, basically that takes you through a few chapters of the Bible every day, and after 365 days the idea is that you've like basically read the whole Bible. So I have been doing it actually for 4 days, which is decently like consistent on the way to becoming a
Wow.
habit. Hopefully it's something. Um, but my take on this is that the Bible in a Year came out in January of 2021 and it was all the rage. Like everyone in the Catholic world was like doing Bible in a year. And I feel like, as is the case with some other trends in the Catholic Christian world, it was kind of like, you know, if you should be doing this.
Hmm.
There was some obligation, we might say. when I, let's think back to where we were in January of 2021. We were seniors in college. It was COVID. We were kind of a mess. Like I was not necessarily in the position to be doing this and doing it every day. I was student teaching. There was a lot going on. Fast forward to now, I'm actually glad that I didn't do it back then when it was trendy because now it's been a really good thing for me at this point in my life, in my spiritual journey. It's like perfect for what I was looking for, like a daily thing. I don't really have to think a lot, but I'm learning a lot. It's, consistent, whatever. And I think my point is you don't always need to do. I'm kind of like jumping ahead to the what I'm taking with me. And
That's
I'll have
okay.
something different for that. But like, I just think like sometimes you don't always need to do the trendy thing. Like sometimes it's okay to do something later in life when it's not trendy or not do it at all, because you never know, you might need that thing years later. So
I love that.
that's been the journey that I'm on.
I love that. I've considered doing it. I never have. I feel like the thought of doing like something daily is like a little bit overwhelming to me. I think I could start with like weekly, but then like I don't want to take 7 years to get through the Bible in a year. So I don't know. I've thought about it, but I'm so glad you're on this journey. I can't wait to hear more um about this journey. And it's funny because although I also went to a Catholic college, I went to a Catholic college in the East Coast that was definitely not as like a traditional college in the sense that like maybe other ones are. I don't know, where like I there weren't a lot of Catholic circles, I guess I could say at my college. And I didn't hear about Bible in a year until we went to grad school, and people were just like obsessed with it. And we're just like always talking about Bible in a year and all that. So it's funny that you bring up that you heard about it like in college, because I had no idea.
I think it was like, or it wasn't that year. I also like my college was like a Jesuit college, so take with that what you will. But there were like Catholic circles that I was like
Mhm.
in and adjacent to. And so when it came out, it was a big thing. But I guess like that we grad school started summer of 2021. So it's like for
Yep.
people that were doing it for a full year, that would have been doing it. Now, the other thing is the daily thing, I'm glad you brought that up because I actually think that it worked out well that I started it like I didn't even start it July 1st. I started it like a random day because I'm telling myself like I'm going to commit to doing it every day, but also if I don't do it every day, I'm just going to be like whatever and pick it up the next day.
Yeah.
And I think like maybe in 2 years I'll have it done. Who knows?
And like to not like put that pressure on yourself, because I think sometimes like daily things, like when you then like miss a day, like which you will, and then you're just like,
Which
oh
you
well,
will.
like it's over. It's like, no, it's not over. Like you're just gonna pick it up again tomorrow. Like I think having like that sense of pressure sometimes is a bit much. But I like that you have that mindset.
Yeah, and I think it's less about like the routine part is nice. It honestly more is about I'm just at the point where like God bless Father Mike for recording all this because I just need to like get out of my own head a little bit and like have someone else like he reads the scripture and then he like talks about it. I'm like I need that. I need to just like sit with someone else's thoughts for a little
Yeah,
bit.
sit with someone else's thoughts. I do apologize to the listeners because I do believe my dad is mowing the lawn. So if you do hear that, it is him mowing the lawn.
Life doesn't stop for the podcast for everyone. Life stops for the podcast for us, but not everyone is on our schedule, so it's fine.
Yeah, yeah. Great.
Yeah, so that's my spiritual wellness check.
Great. Thank you
What's
so
your
much for
second
sharing.
one? You're
My
welcome.
second one, I was like really like debating. I don't really like I said, there's not really a lot going on in my life right now. And I love that for myself. But my second wellness check, I think, is like I'm gonna go with social. I
Okay.
want to talk about the 4th of July. I want to talk about I like to talk about like holidays in terms of like family holidays and friend holidays. Like Christmas is a family holiday. Easter
1,000%. Thanksgiving is
Easter,
a family
yeah,
holiday.
but like Halloween is a friend holiday. Like,
Yeah.
4th of July is like a friend holiday. It's not a big
Yes.
one, but I I am blessed with like a very nice family, and like my mom has always like loved holidays, and like a lot of friend holidays are also like family holidays. And I think like there's an overwhelming sense of like pressure as you get older to like make there's a limited amount of friend holidays to make them like really friend centered. And like it is okay to have your holiday be family centered if that's what you want. And I think like for a while I was like, oh, like I need to like make plans. I need to like make sure like I'm like hitting the town and like going out or whatever. And like at the end of the day, like I just like simply don't want to be doing that. Like, and especially like where I live, where it is very touristy and very busy, I cannot fathom how much I would not want to pay like a $50 cover and like wait in line for 3 hours to like go get a
Yeah.
vodka soda. I'm quite all set. So I am spending the 4th of July with my family, which I am so excited for. But I feel like there is kind of that like somewhat like pressure related to for like friend holidays. I don't know. Do you understand what I'm saying?
1,000%. I'm actually so glad you brought this up because I feel like this is on my mind during the 4th of July. And I feel like it's probably on a lot of people's minds where like I also am spending it with my family. My family that lives where I live is massive. And actually, it's funny because originally this year, I thought my parents weren't going to be here for the 4th of July. My brother's like working part of the day. And I honestly was going to go on a trip for it. I was like, I just
Mm,
want to like go, like you said, a friend holiday. I'm like, I want to
yeah.
go be with a lot of my friends here, like work holidays or they have other stuff going on. And so I was like, I just want to like go, be with friends elsewhere. Um, but then it like my family now is having a huge thing. So I think like I don't know. I think that it's hard because it's like there also is like no one is how do I put this correctly? I guess people post their Christmas and Thanksgiving,
Mhm.
but it's not in the same way that people post on social media about their 4th of July or about their Halloween, where it's like
Yes.
I think there's a lot of social media pressure for those holidays
Yes.
where it's like you're with all your friends, you're doing cute stuff. Like it's a very much also a social media holiday. And so
Yes.
I think it's like you want to feel like you're doing something. You don't want to feel like you're
Mhm.
doing nothing, but it's also a lot of pressure for a day. So no,
Yes.
I feel the same way. I'm very glad you brought this up.
And that's the thing is like I feel like everyone's pressured by social media and things, and it's like what, my mom can also take a lovely photo of me if I so be it, and I think
Yeah.
like as you get older, that like pressure is like lifted because I think before I'd be like, well, I just like you know want to do something, and like maybe there is a point in time where I would like pay $50 for a cover and like wait in line for 3 hours, like right now like that I'm all set, and that's okay. And like I think I'm glad that I don't necessarily feel that pressure anymore.
Mhm.
And I think maybe that's a sign of like maturing or getting older. I'm not quite sure. But I'm going to a lovely, I need to give her a shout out in here. My mom's dear friend, my dear friend, I should say, Betty Ann, is having a lovely 4th of July party tonight. And so I'm so excited to be attending. I'm making a flag cake. And I think like doing like those little things like with your family and your family friends is so important because those are people that like care about you and want to spend time with you, and not just like, oh, like with some random people that or acquaintances, to just like again go pay like $20 for a vodka soda. And like I think I've talked about in this podcast more and more of that, like my friend groups have shifted so much since I've moved and like started my life in Omaha, and I'm so grateful to still have friends back here, and very very good friends, but they've also moved on and they also have their own friends, and like I can't be upset about that because I have friends where I am too. So I think just like being okay with what you're doing, and yeah, just like not society pressure is hard. I feel like society
It's
pressure is
hard.
really hard, but we're all trying our best.
We're all trying our best, and I also think like your point about the party you're going to do to today is a good one because I think at the end of the day, like all I want is the spectacle. I don't care who's putting on the spectacle. All I
Yes.
want is the spectacle. And I was thinking to our Halloween plans where I was like, that was one of
Yeah.
the best Halloweens
Oh, it was
or
so
of
fun.
2025 that I've had in a long time. It was Maddie and I and my friend Lily, and we did Halloween together in San Diego. And it was
It was
funny
so
because
fun.
we had no plans. We were actually in bed by like 11:30,
Yep.
but between the three of us combined, we had one singular drink. I had like one White Claw. That was the only alcohol
Yep.
consumed. We went to
Yep.
one bar and then we just like walked around downtown San Diego and it was so fun.
And had
Why?
the time of our
Because it
lives.
was the spectacle. It
Yeah.
was the
Yeah.
vibes. So that was my thing and that's why I'm glad like my family that lives here has kind of been scattered all over the place for 4th of July and I don't know if it's because it's like the America 250 whatever this year, but we've really gotten our lives together and we're like we're doing the spectacle this year.
Yeah.
4th of July is a Saturday, and I think like that's, I don't know. But again, I'm glad you brought it up because I do think that especially in your 20s, like especially for 4th of July is a weird holiday because it's the summer, so everyone's kind of like doing their
Yeah.
own things in different places.
And
So,
like, don't get me wrong, I love a friend holiday. Like I said, like I love spending Halloween with you and Lily. Like that was so much fun. We had a blast. But also like I have limited time with my family. Like I'm excited to spend a holiday with them too.
yeah,
And I think like, yeah, it just I think I always thought about like friend holidays, family holidays, but like it's whatever you want to do. Like whatever makes you happy. Like if we want to spend Christmas together, so be it, you know?
so be it. Amazing.
So that's my check-in.
Amazing.
What's
Well,
your last wellness check?
my final wellness check. You're gonna laugh at this. I didn't know what else to say. So it is a physical wellness check, kind of. Um, I'm
I'm
telling the
nervous.
podcast, you already know this, that I want to sign up to do a high
Oh
rocks,
God. Oh God. Oh
which
God.
is
Yep.
funny because this is actually going to completely negate all of the idea about not needing to be on trend that I gave in my spiritual wellness check. High rocks are trendy, and I want to do a high rocks, and sometimes it's okay to do something because it's trendy. So I'm giving the
I
opposite opinion.
I agree. I am also a trend filled gal, and I support you 1000%. I will not be doing
No.
it with you, but I support you.
So anyways, I have a location in mind. I have a date in mind. The signups, I think, actually go out when we're together, so you can be on this journey with me because apparently
Who
they
are you
sell
gonna
out really
do it with?
fast, which is unfortunate. You can do it by yourself, but it's a lot
Oh,
harder. I have a plan in mind. I just have to reach out to the specific people.
okay.
I have thoughts. I have thoughts.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I just keeps it. The thing is, like, everyone our age. This is a joke. Everyone our age is either going to Japan, having a kid, or running a marathon.
Yep.
I'm not running a marathon. I ran one half marathon when I was in high school. I come from a big running family on my dad's side. I love that for them. I won't be doing that. I have no intention. I ran a 10K like a year and a half ago, and that was the longest consecutively that I will run ever. I'm good. But I like kind of like that. I don't do CrossFit, but like that, you know, cross style
Yeah.
training. Like I'll do a little bit of running. I'll do a little bit of like the different, weight things that they do
Yeah.
in a high rocks. And I feel like I just need something to train for. I'm kind of like the date I have in mind is in like December. And so time wise, I think it'll work out that I'm like my summer is my rest time. I come back in August. I really commit to training for 4 months or whatever that is. And then I do it. So we'll see. Stay tuned.
Okay. Okay. I'm staying tuned, and I'm thrilled for you. You know, when was this? Maybe in the fall, Teresa and I are really committed to making our 30 under 30 lists.
It's on my 30 under 30.
Oh, it is. Okay, good. And one thing on mine is to do a Disney half marathon. And I think I'm just gonna really switch that to a Disney related race. I think I
Yeah.
could do the 10K. That might be just fine. But I also need to start thinking about when I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, our 30 under 30, which also it's funny because my another friend texted me yesterday, no context. She was just like, I want to meet Pope Leo. That's it. And I was like, girl, guess what's on my 30 under 30? Going to not necessarily meeting, shaking hands with, but like I need to
Yeah.
see our American Pope. So
Yeah.
I actually have crossed off a few things on my 30 under 30 list.
Oh, good for
Um,
you.
the sourdough one, I crossed
Wow.
off like figuring out sourdough starter. I also had on there to start an herb garden. I technically started an herb garden this summer. I don't know why I thought this was a summer to do it because I'm gonna be gone for a month.
Hmm.
All but three of the herbs in it have died,
Okay.
and I'm gonna leave it in the care of my family here while I'm gone. So we're gonna
I love that for
see.
you.
We're gonna see. Yeah.
Love that for you. Okay. Well, should we get on to our hyperfixations?
Hyperfixation. You want to go first?
Sure.
Let me get my timer.
Mine is like we kind of already discussed it, but like it's okay, I'll bring it up again.
That's okay. All right. Are you ready?
Yep.
Go.
My hyperfixation right now is Team USA in the World Cup, specifically when they sing Country Road Takes Me Home at the end of the game. I think it's the cutest, sweetest little
Oh,
thing ever. I've watched so many TikToks of it. I think it just like it's so American and so great and like love the American spirit. I just think it's the cutest thing ever. So that's my fixation is watching them.
I love that. My mom is a huge John Denver fan. Shout out. My brother like dabbles in the guitar, and every time he takes out the guitar, she's like, "Play John Denver." So
I love
I love
that.
that song. Go USA, Team USA,
Yeah,
taking down Belgium. We can do it.
we can do it Monday. Here we go. All right, are you ready?
Yeah, you're gonna die at mine.
Okay, go.
Ridiculous. My timely hyperfixation is fireworks. For anyone that knows
Stop.
me personally, I'm a little bit of a pyro, and I'm really sad because where I live now, the West in general is not really friendly to fireworks. We have a lot
Neither is
of
the East. We don't have
um,
them.
yeah, we have issues with fire and things catching on fire, but Maddie will remember that we spent one Fourth of July in Omaha, and they have like they have legit fireworks in the Midwest, and I was freaking in heaven. So I bought poppers because they're not even fireworks. They're like the only things that Walmart was selling. So I'm just here to say that I'm missing, and I'm not talking about like big fireworks shows. They're fine, whatever. I'm talking about the fireworks you light yourself.
Yeah, that was 30 seconds, but I did let you go a little bit longer because I think it's one of your secrets that it is just interesting is that you're a pyro that I do often forget. But I love that for you. So
Don't arrest me. I promise I'm a responsible pyro, but I just love fire. I think fire is beautiful. I'll say that. That makes me sound like less of a weirdo.
okay,
Okay.
great, great. Um, okay, what's next?
What are you taking with you? What
Oh,
are you holding with you this week?
what am I holding with me this week? Okay. I think I'm holding with me just the fact that like I am so grateful to be spending time with my family and so grateful for this time of rest. And they drive me crazy most of the time, but I am very grateful for them. And I like am so happy America's turning 250 years old. I'm gonna be honest in that like shouldn't America be a little bit older than that? I think it's kind of crazy that they're only 250
Yeah, we're
years old.
young.
Like America's young, we're here for an iconic part. Hopefully we're here for America 300. That'll be insane. Um, but yeah, I'm just taking with me a lot of gratitude.
I love that. Um, I am taking with me, I think we talked a lot about like trends and comparing yourself to other people on social media. So I think what I'm taking with me this week, which is funny because I've never been more chronically online than I am now, but like in general, delete social media for like a day. It's a month, a week, a year. It's good for your mental health. Go outside and touch grass. Leave your phone. Yeah, spend time with the human beings around you,
I
I
love
guess,
that.
which is timely for our 4th of July weekend. I think that's what it is, where it's like, I think maybe, which not that I was going to anyways, but it's like spend spend 4th of July off social media. Don't
Okay.
see what everyone else is doing.
I love
Yeah.
that. Okay, well, um, we have one more episode next week, distant wise.
Yes.
Um, and then we're in person.
The world is not ready.
The world is not ready. So, thanks everyone for listening. Thanks for all our support. Tell your friends about our podcast. We hope you like listening to us. If you have any suggestions, put them in the comments. We're always open to suggestions, and we're open to guest stars too. So if you want to be on our podcast, let us know. Hydrate, text your friends back, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.